Hi, welcome to Two Ordinary Toots, podcast where two ordinary toots talk about tootsy things like
Tootsie Rolls.
we're immature, we know it. So, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Well, people are probably starting to wonder, are you guys falling off the edge? No, we're not. We still post more than IGN does.
That is true.
We were just waiting for Thrones to, finish out.
But why Thrones? Finish out. It's coming up next week.
Yeah, next week, our next podcast will be Thrones, but we're going to talk about Defenders today.
Netflix, Marvel's Defenders.
What are you drinking on today? We've already drank this beer before.
Yeah, we have this beer before, but it's my favorite. And when it comes out, I need to get it. It's Free State. It's Oktoberfest. It's the best Oktoberfest there is right now.
Yeah, that's contrary to belief. Sam Adams is probably better. He helped found this country, which makes him better. But
Free State is a free state, and we are not. We're gonna start. We are not going to have ourselves be taken over by the government that Sam Adams wanted to replace.
Sam Adams helped fight against the British, so...
And I'm fighting against
against
shitty beers with a good beer.
It's really good beer. I'm not saying it's shitty. It's not like that fucking nitro beer we drank.
Yeah, that's true. So, but yeah, anybody who hasn't had it, go and try it.
And if you guys judge us because sometimes we repeat our beers that we want to drink,
fuck
you. It's our podcast. We're gonna do what we want.
Exactly.
All right, so I think we're gonna.
Let's hype this episode really up to have a big letdown.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so that was a really good fucking show. Best show I've ever seen, probably. Better than Game of Thrones, Westworld, even Walking Dead.
I think so too.
You see, people, one thing you don't realize is we're going to keep doing this.
We really like shitty shows.
No. Shitty shows are our thing. So yeah. I think that show was, if I had to do it on like a 10 scale, I would probably give it a 5.5.
Same. It's an okay show.
It's not bad. The action that's in there is really good, and the character dialogue is really good, and it feeds into the main overall arc of the stories of all the other Marvel shows on Netflix, which I like. And I think that the extra characters that are in there from all the other shows got a lot of extra TV time that other shows probably wouldn't have given them, which I really liked, because I really like a lot of the side characters other than Foggy. I fucking hate that guy.
I like Foggy.
Yeah, I know you do.
My point is, I didn't like the storytelling. It was a really, really... Like, the action, the few action pieces that we get saved this. Like, the actor's performance saved this.
The actors did good. I would say even, like... The guy who plays Danny has definitely taken some acting classes, but since Iron Fist, because
he's a good actor. You can see him in Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, he was better.
It's just, I think the storytelling was shitty. Like, the first 3 episodes go super slow, and then you get, the next, is it 7?
It takes them
8?
It takes them 3 episodes to get together.
And then it's like, is it 8? Is it 8?
It's only 8 episodes. Like
the first 3 go super slow, and then all of a sudden, the next 5, they go one after the other. They're building out like this huge fight at the end, and the final fight was shit. Really, it was.
The final fight was a cool.
It was bad.
It was a cool fight, but like
it was
really
bad.
in a fucking cave.
It was bad. Like there wasn't nothing like really like to hump it up. It was just. Then it was Daredevil just talking to Elektra like, "Oh, I love you, baby," and
Since we're on those stories, and
it seemed like a mid-season finale.
I really feel I agree with that. I think the problem with this show was they emphasized on 2 things too much, and we should touch on both of them. One was the Elektra Daredevil bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the main one is they focused way too much on Danny.
I agree. They focus too much on Danny. He is not the strongest character in the pack.
No.
I would have done something different.
They should have been more even.
I would have picked a different villain. I would have picked...
Yeah, the hand was too emphasis on, like, why not
I don't mind the hand. It's like, make the... Who is the baddie? Not Elektra, the one who brings Elektra back.
Alexandra?
Yeah, like, I think it was like... I thought Alexandra would have been the good... Where, even at the end... Like, I thought about, like, all the 4 hands, all the 5 fingers join, and they all have to make this awesome fight where we, like, a 4v4. It really is, like, Alexandra's, like, she seems cool, she seems like a great character, and then they randomly kill her.
Yeah, Elektra kills her, and Elektra becomes, like, this bigger part of the show, which...
It makes sense. I think, for me, the storytelling, it wasn't make sense, and how they finish it didn't seem appropriate for a finale, like a Defenders. It should have been, like, a good fight, like the Avengers, or, like, they all come in and they kick some ass. Here, they all come in and they just fight minions, basically.
Yeah. Where the fuck are all the ninjas? Because they didn't... You see in Daredevil, there were so many ninjas that they fought, and there was nothing like that in this.
Yeah, it seemed like a mid-season finale where, like, oh, what happened? Well,
I think the biggest downfall, and kind of, we'll get to this when we talk about Thrones, but one of the downfalls of this show and this season of Thrones is not enough episodes. Like, you need to have... Your normal Marvel stories have been 13 episodes. Why did you make this 8? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I think it would be too expensive to have every single person they had there in the payroll. It was too expensive, so they did it to save money.
I mean, it's possible, but they pay those same... I mean, they're probably... Sigourney Weaver wasn't cheap, so that's probably where a lot of their expenses
She did great, by the way. She was my favorite part of that show.
My favorite part of the show was when... Because Danny always hypes him up as this I'm the Iron Fist, I'm a badass, and then, like, finally he punches Daredevil, and Daredevil and him spar off, and Daredevil fucking whoops his ass. I mean, he just... Until Danny uses his fist, I mean, even then, the only reason why they all got knocked down is because he punched Luke with the fist, but, I mean, Matt whooped his ass. I mean, he outdid him every which way.
So...
But the cool thing is about this show, some of the stuff I liked is that this show isn't separate from the overall arc. Like, it does fit into every other show because, I mean, Misty loses her arm, which fits into her getting her bionic arm. Stick is dead, which fits. Elektra's still... she was in the cave, but of course at the end of it, we see that Matt survived, which feeds into one of the comics.
Yeah, and we can see that Danny could become the next Daredevil, like in the comics.
I think my biggest disappointment of this show is there's no fucking Punisher. I was waiting when they were in the cave. Fucking Punisher just comes in and just goes boo, 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 just fucking blows all these dudes away.
You think so?
Because if you look at the Comic-Con trailer, at the end of the trailer, they have the Punisher, and I could be wrong, but he says, "Oh hey Red, I'm here to help," or something like that. And they didn't even show up in the show, which is bullshit.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird that they have no Punisher.
You have Elektra, but everyone loves the Punisher. That's why he got his own series. But you have Elektra, like, where the fuck's the Punisher?
Yeah,
Elektra sucks. She's fucking boring.
I mean, it was for me.
I got tired of, like, Matt always going back to Elektra, like, who fucking cares, man? Like, seriously, like, I get you're in love with people, but, like, in the beginning of the show, he's trying to make it work between him and Karen, and then he gets trapped in with Elektra. I'm like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, I thought it was cool how Elektra manipulated all the hand, and she knew the whole time who Matt was. Like, she was just like, oh, I know who he is, blah, blah, but...
for me, it was bad storytelling.
It was a disappointment. I mean, like, we were both super fucking stoked about this show for, 3 years? If not, I mean, we watched Daredevil Season 2 together, and that's when they first announced that they were doing the Defenders, and then, like, we watched The Punisher and stuff, we were like, super pumped up about it, and then like Luke Cage came out. We were super pumped up after that because
Iron Fist came out.
Iron Fist, and we were disappointed. And
we were like, yeah, we get it. Okay,
yeah.
it's gonna. Okay, Defender's gonna come out. It's gonna work out, and then it seemed like an Iron Fist season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I mean,
I think that's a difference, though. And I always bring this up with other shows or movies and stuff. And I get like why some characters, like I get why Matt doesn't kill. And I mean, obviously, what's her face? Iron Fist's helper, she doesn't care about killing people because she used to. But like if you look at the Avengers, Hawkeye and Black Widow, they don't care about killing people. Like that's what they do. They're assassins. And I think that's the difference with this show, and that's why I love that they have the Punisher in it, is because he's grounded and he is human. Like he's just like, oh fuck these guys, I'm gonna kill them because that's the only way to take them out.
Well, technically, Black Widow depends on the comics, but Hawkeye normally doesn't kill.
But he has done it. But
oh yeah, but I mean he.
But still, like I like I think that's why I like about the Punisher is he adds that to the show, because otherwise you just have all these dudes. You have 4 people. You have Jessica, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist together, and none of them kill. They're just like, what are you gonna do? Beat these dudes up? All these fucking guys, even the evil people, even the 4 hands or the 5 hands or whatever.
Well, one guy gets killed by what's his name? Splinter. He gets killed with his off.
Oh, you're talking Stick.
Stick, yeah, Splinter. That's the Ninja Turtle version of him. But yeah.
Yeah, well, Stick's different though. He always tells Maddie that he's weak because he's like,
I mean, he kills one of the hands. So I thought, it's gonna be a 4v4. That makes sense. But
I honestly think that's a weak part of the show. I really like how dark the shows are. I mean, obviously, like Daredevil is awesome, but at some point, if you're taking on something like that, I mean, it's just like Ultron. I mean, they didn't fucking just leave Ultron. We're gonna beat you up and then we're just gonna leave you there. No, Vision fucking finished the job and killed him. And I'm like, I'm not advocating people murdering people, but for a show, it doesn't. What are we gonna do? Just sit here and fucking watch them constantly beat these people up and that's it? Basically. And like, where the fuck was an awesome hallway scene? It's the same director that made Daredevil. Where the fuck was your awesome hallway scene where, like they did in Daredevil season 2, like when he's going down the stairs in that one camera shot?
The one in season 1 doesn't do it. When he just walks in, gets in one, beats out.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
season 1,
before he even has to
2,
see. Yeah.
Also did it with the Punisher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
where the fuck was that? I mean, like you can't consider that hallway scene they had at that high rise that they destroyed. You can't.
It was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Overall, it wasn't a disappointment. It didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows that will be forgotten.
I hope that they work off of this, and for season 2 of the Defenders they do better, because obviously they're gonna have a season 2.
I'm also disappointed that they don't even mention like Spider-Man or the Avengers, right?
They mention them in the background. If you look at like Karen Page's office, they have
but I'm saying like
attack.
why this fucking building comes down and not a single one shows up?
That doesn't make any sense.
No, but it would have made. I understand
especially
why
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I understand why saying that, but they could have been saying like, oh, there's a fire in the other part of town and. You know, the new kid, the new Spider kid is there.
Is that going to cost them anything to fucking mention them?
Maybe Spider-Man will cost them because they have to pay
Sony.
But they could say, oh, the other heroes are dealing with this.
Yeah.
Like a fire or
Avengers
whatever.
is part of it. Like
because Thor's gone.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse. Captain America's on the
AWOL.
So they just need to mention basically Iron Man, and not even Black Widow, and...
Well, they have the other, like, Scarlet Witch, Vision.
Scarlet Witch is in hiding. Vision, yeah, she's in the Secret Avengers.
No, she's not. She's not in there. She's at...
No, she's the Secret Avengers. She was with Captain America. Basically, Iron Man team was Vision, Black Widow, Spider-Man, War Machine. I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But she didn't get caught.
It's caught.
Oh, is she in the...
in the jail.
Oh, I have to rewatch
So they
it.
just say, oh, Iron Man is dealing with a fire, or Iron Man is doing something some other place.
And for all the bullshit that we talk shit on DC Universe, which that's a whole nother ball game we can bring up after we're done talking about this, since we're almost done. Marvel has gotten their movies down. I mean, like, other than their villains are kind of weak, but like the movie wise, most of the movies
Villains are kind of weak. Loki was awesome.
No, Loki is still awesome, but he's still alive, and that's why he's awesome. But like every other main villain they've had has been kind of weak. Like they really aren't that. They don't really have good character.
Vulture?
Vulture is he's an exception. Vulture is amazing. We talked about that when we did Spider-Man, but like if you look
Winter Soldier was pretty good.
Yeah,
and he was a villain in one of the movies.
But like. Which he would be in the top 5 at least, because as villains.
But saying that Marvel has bad villains, it's a little bit of an.
But out of all of their movies that they've had, their overall villains, the bad ones outweigh the good ones. Like Whiplash from Iron Man 2 sucked. The Iron Man 3 guy wasn't that great.
Well, yeah, that's 2.
Iron Man 3, they hyped up Mandarin, and then he fucking sucked. Like it wasn't they literally should have just had Ben Kingsley be the villain, Mandarin. And it would have fucking been way better.
Ben the true Mandarin.
What else is there? What other movies? The Thor.
Ant-Man was good.
Ant-Man, yeah. Thor Ragnarok, not Ragnarok. Thor Dark World. That one sucked.
I think it's they do. Okay or great?
They're not bad. I mean, I would have to say they're not horrible, but they could use a little bit of tweaking. But overall, the Marvel movies haven't made, whereas their Marvel shows, they're iffy. Like Daredevil and Luke Cage, and I think Jessica does it really well also. But like Danny's story's weak, his villain was kind of weak and boring, and then same with Defenders. Like they fucked up having their Avengers team. It just wasn't that good. So hopefully they go off that and make it better next time.
I don't know. I just think it's this show. It felt they finished the show early. It feels like a mid-season. It doesn't feel like nothing got accomplished, nothing got solved, nothing was really resolved.
People got killed, but that's about it. Like Stick's dead.
Yeah, but it seems like the only thing that I'm excited about is we're gonna finally see Daredevil's mom.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's a monk. A monk?
Well, and Daredevil's probably gonna go. He's gonna go a different route now, isn't he? Like in that comic, isn't he darker?
Mm-hmm. But we'll see. We will see.
And then Karen, in that comic that they portrayed at the end of the show in the comic. Karen becomes some strung out druggie and outs Matt. Mm-hmm. It says that he's, Matt Murdock is Daredevil when she finds out he's alive. But they think that obviously she's not going to be some strung out druggie because that would make absolutely no sense for the show because she's never...
Depends how she portrays it.
I mean, they could always do something different, but...
They can do it. They can make it her real druggie, being like she thinks Matt is dead, so she starts getting alcohol, and then... And if they did it tastefully and in a reliable way, they could They
did that with Iron Man and Iron Man 2 because he was an alcoholic kind of and getting all fucked up off of his go-go juice that was saving him from his heart.
Yeah, so if they did it correctly, they can make it and it can be reliable. But they can also go the other way, like, oh, she's a drug addict now, and you're like, what? So
I think they've been releasing a lot of stuff this week for Punisher, and I think that the Punisher's coming out in October and not November, that everyone's thinking. So I think it's going to come out in October, and then I know Karen's in that show, so it will be interesting to see how they go off of that and see how that plays into Defenders, and yeah.
So,
but I think that's overall... I think that's very in for that talk. Did you hear about the whole DC conundrum about like all the movies they're coming out with?
No.
They have a standalone Joker movie that's coming out with, but not Jared Leto Joker. They have like some other Joker show.
Okay.
Or movie that's coming out. And then they have, instead of doing the Sirens movie, the one with all the
Females.
anti-heroes, which they sounds fucking awesome, which they should
be
do.
Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and...
and then I forget who the other one is. But instead of doing that, they're doing a fucking movie about Joker and Harley Quinn.
Depends.
With Jared Leto's Joker.
I don't think Jared Leto was that bad. It just, it wasn't the place to show him.
Yeah, I can't...
He did a good... his laugh was good. I mean, it's not the typical Joker, but I mean, he is resembling to the ones in the and one in the comics. It's just, it's kind of hard to have all good Jokers. Like, we had the original Joker who was Jack.
Well, he wasn't Jack. Jack Nicholson was the one in the newer movies, but there's the original Joker. And
well, yeah, I'm saying movies. Jack Nicholson. The original one, who was like, okay, I mean, you get
from
it.
like Adam West days.
Yeah, but it's Adam West Joker, so it's kind of cartoonish.
I think the best Joker is Mark Hamill. Well, no, Heath Ledger. Never mind, Heath Ledger is the best, but then Mark Hamill's the.
I like Mark Hamill better than Heath.
I think
But one is acting and one is voicing, so.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And then Matt Reeves, who is making the new Batman movie, said it doesn't tie in with the other DC movies. But then he retracted that statement and said, what I was saying is it's a standalone movie. It's not going to have its own individual story with the other shows or movies. What I'm thinking, at Comic-Con, Ben said, don't listen to the news or hype or whatever, I'm going to be in these movies or whatever. I think after Justice League, I think it's going to come out where he's like, no, I'm actually done. I just think they can't say that until Justice League's over. I think he's done. There's a lot of issues that are going on with these movies that they're not talking about, and I think Ben's done. Which the way they could do that is if they kill him off in Justice League, then they can have, like you said, like a new Batman, or not new Batman, but like a new...
Can't kill him.
I don't know.
I
have no idea, because
they can't kill Batman just in the first Justice League movie.
Yeah,
There'll be riots in the streets. All DC fanboys are gonna be like, "Wow!" if they kill Batman.
I like Ben Affleck's Batman. I mean, it's pretty cool, but
I like his fight scenes are awesome.
I just think that he does a really good job. But I think the issue is, I was talking to a guy at work about this, is I think they hired too old of a Batman.
I like the older Batman.
I do, but like you could have hired someone younger to do that part. Like they do age people up all the time in Hollywood. The issue is I think, part of it is like Ben Affleck's like
maintaining the physique,
almost fucking 50. I mean, I think he's in his mid 40s. So I mean,
I like the older Batman. The best comic out there is Dark Knight, and it's him. This older Batman. Yeah. Much older than 50.
I like him as Batman. I mean, like, I hope he isn't quitting. Well, let me go on the record there.
I think he may last one more movie and one more Justice League and go on that. Because that's good enough. That's, two or three movies plus two huge ones.
And he has probably way more intense...
Because he's probably going to do the Apocalypse one. I can't see him not being part of the Apocalypse. Because he's setting up Apocalypse.
Yeah.
The villain here and
Darkseid,
so
right?
Is it Darkseid?
Darkseid is this movie, I think.
So yeah, then Darkseid should appear in the next one.
No, Darkseid's in this one, I think.
I think it's not Darkseid. I think it's the Minions. It's his minions. It's the Justice League minions. Yeah, Steppenwolf. That's the...
yeah, that's right.
But he's the minion of Apocalypse.
Okay.
Of Darkseid. Sorry.
So Darkseid would be in the other one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well. Back. Alright, so before we end, I have a question for you. I have two, but obviously the other one I'm going to save for...
next week's episode?
Yeah. So this one is... So when I was on that float trip, I went on a couple weeks ago... obviously we didn't have a shower because we were off the grid, and I started stinking pretty good.
Okay.
how bad, but obviously before they got to Alexandria, how fucking bad do you think the people, the Walking Dead people, like, story-wise, not actually the actors, but, like, how bad do you think they fucking smelled?
Before getting to Alexandria?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Dude, they had...
You guys had a huge shower in the...
In the rain, in the tornado.
Uh-huh.
No, but I'm talking about, like, I mean...
Before the tornado?
Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, they walked all the way from, whatever those areas, like, they hadn't showered since the prison. I mean, since the prison, they hadn't showered.
Probably pretty bad. Like, I mean, stink, but I think it gets
I wonder if, how bad, like, disease they would have been. Gout, rash.
You can last pretty long without taking a shower. It gets to a point that your body is dirty.
I don't know.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. Alright, follow us on YouTube. This is probably our shortest episode. Follow us on YouTube. Two Ordinary Nerds.
That was a shitty fucking show.
That was a shitty... I wouldn't say shitty. It was a mediocre show.
Yeah, it's a mediocre show.
Basic,
so there's not much we can do.
That was a real DC move, Marvel.
Well, yeah. Follow us, Two Ordinary Nerds on Facebook, YouTube, and if you want to email us, send us a hey, what's up, big boys, at twoordinarynerds at gmail.com, and cheers.
Cheers. Shout out to Houston. Get well soon, because they're flooding.
I know.
I'm just saying.
You know where I work?
Oh, yeah, you do work. Yeah, all right. Bye.